What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XLM to BTC and XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at the current coin market cap, as well as an article shared that maybe some of you know about, but Ripple may be entering Vietnamese market with TP Bank partnership. Quite interesting. Thought I'd share that with you guys. As you know on the channel, we've been talking a little bit about XRP in the past couple of days because I've seen there's to be some sort of interest within where the chartings tend to lie right about now. We're in the crosshairs of what could be a major rally to the upside with a major burst of volume. So I want to continue off of where we left off. As you guys know, we've been talking about the swell, pump, or dump, as well as the massive breakout that could be potentially happening within XRP, as well as whether or not we were seeing some sort of death cross on the 4-hour charts. So I want to continue where we left off and continue to discuss whether or not we're going to be seeing some sort of massive breakout. Now, we are seeing some other cryptocurrencies take a major twist in things in the past couple of days, so I want to discuss that as well. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. Remember, we do a giveaway for $25 of free Bitcoin every single Friday. All you have to do to enter is click the subscribe button and comment down below. This way I know that you want to take part in the giveaway. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So guys, we're here on the current chart on XRP to US dollar. This is the Bitfinex chart. I'm starting to notice a couple of interesting patterns. More so specifically, look at Litecoin, guys. Litecoin is definitely showing some interesting signs. If I just shimmy our way to the daily, you'll notice this interesting pattern and why this is deemed important. As we know, on the current coin market cap, Litecoin is trading at number 6. We're starting to see about a 5% jump. Similar with EOS, you'll notice these cryptos are starting to act familiar and similar in price, while Bitcoin's price graph, and you'll notice Ethereum and XRP are the ones that are hanging around most closely. More specifically, Bitcoin and XRP's price graph is practically identical, and that means that more of the focus should be on Bitcoin than any other coin in regards to graphing XRP. So we'll be looking at Bitcoin in a second. I do just want to really quick point out that the interesting uptrend that we've had within Litecoin is finally being broken right now. You'll see we had this little pop here after we've seen tons and tons of sideways trading. It gives us plenty of room to move up. You see this beautiful pyramid-like descending triangle right here in terms of the volume, and we're starting to take a slight rally up to the upside. Now notice that we've been in this downtrend ever since May of 2019, and we've been traveling downwards and not been able to break out of this resistance up top for quite some time now. You'll see that we're just starting to see that massive rally upwards. It looks bigger on the 4-hour, but it's quite small. So we'll see if on the daily it does decide to hold that. You'll notice very beautifully that we do have this major descending triangle right here. We see the consolidation downwards, the support right here, and a big break to the upside. Notice that on descending triangles, we tend to break bullish. The other thing to point out is we are hitting the, oversold line, or sorry, the overbought line on the RSI, which is a good indicator. This might be the top of the rally. On the daily, we look like we could go higher. On the 4-hour, we don't look like we can go higher. So it's going to be interesting. I'd really like to see whether or not for today this decides to close above here. If indeed we do, we may see some more consolidation on the graph, so more specifically this. Now, I wouldn't be too happy or upset for those of you who are invested in Litecoin just this very second, only because this was an extremely tiny jump. As we know, if we wanted to track price percentage, we can literally just go over to here, take the price range, open it up to the mouth, which is about a 6% leap. You put this at the brink of the breakout and we're up to 6%. So merely this is about the highest that I would consider this small little micro 4-hour breakout to move to. Now, why is this important? To see a coin break to the upside, breaking through an extremely strong resistance is obviously a good news in all of the charts, So if this does continue to hold, we should see bigger movements within the rest of the cryptos. Now, one thing to point out, and I thank whoever commented this on my channel in the other video, notice that I had my resistance on my Bitcoin chart slightly off, and I did some research and I looked at it and he was right, honestly. I'm noticing once again that we do have these 4 Bitcoin fractals forming, and I'll show you why this ties into XRP in 1 second. But notice how these usually tend to hit resistance up top, and then once we hit bottom being oversold, that's when the breakout arises. We tend to hit bottom, breakout, and rises. We hit the bottom, we're oversold, breakout arises. Same thing here, oversold, breakout arises. Very similar to where we are right now. So where does this tie in for those of you who are new to the channel? You'll notice we hit the resistance up top here, and now we're hitting it once again and again. Notice how we are seeing some very interesting signals right here. You can see that we're seeing some sort of small crossover of the blue band on the RSI crossing over that orange, which is a bullish signal. It'll be very interesting though on the 4 hour to see whether or not we're going to be able to hold strong and hold through this resistance right here, because honestly, I do have a short right now on DueDEX. As you guys can see, I have a shortage because you can short on DueDEX. Highly recommend you check them out. Where I've shorted the coin at around $9,600, and I'm up about 7% in unrealized profit. So once I close my position, I'll get that. But I'm a betting man right now that we're going to see retracement lower back down to the 4 hour, 8,800, even lower, potentially down to 8,600, because I think this resistance will hold. If the pattern does continue to hold itself, we should see that downtrend arise. Now, why does this tie into XRP? Well, we do know that on XRP, it's very similar to the Bitcoin pattern. So when we look at XRP right now, we're noticing a very similar, or slightly off, but similar in terms of price ranges in regards to whether a coin breaks bullish, we'll break bullish. We break bearish, we'll break bearish. We're hitting some sort of resistance up here, very similar to XRP right now. The difference is instead of in a Bitcoin in a bearish fractal, we're now in a ascending triangle. Ascending triangles tend to break bearish. That's what I've known in my technical analysis. So I don't want to be, blow smoke up anyone, but there's a chance we could be breaking down to the downside on XRP. I don't want to be super perma bear and get everybody upset, but you have to take into consideration there are some very, 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 very strong resistances at this level right here. You can see clearly where that resistance tends to be on this coin, and it holds its value fairly well at 30 cents. This is a huge milestone, a huge marker. You also notice, similar to XLM, we're hitting the high-low MMA resistance. So this is a key point on here. Trading flatline on the RSI gives us plenty of room to really check whether or not we're going to see that breakout. You'll notice on the daily for XLM, we also hit that high-low MMA and broke bearish from what looks like an ascending triangle as well. So if these two coins do have any familiarity, we could see that potential retracement as well within XRP, only on the short term before coming back up, retesting this and potentially breaking bullish. Now there is potential for a golden cross to be forming on XRP. Yesterday's video I said on the 4 hour, or I wanted to mention that on the 4 hour there was a death cross where this red band right here, and you can see, is going to cross over that green band, which is a significant sign of a bear market. Now, when we look on the daily, we're seeing a golden cross, which is a pretty big opportunity, where this green band seems to be trying to cross over that red. We're going to see if it happens. If it does, good chance we could break to the upside. But for right now, we're seeing major resistance right here, and we literally have just a couple of days. So potentially, today is the 4th. We have maybe to the 10th, the latest, which is less than a week. That means this week we're going to see some sort of major volume come into the market. Now, if XRP does decide to break bullish, it most definitely can. I want to point out in previous places when we were below here, we've seen some pretty massive breakouts. When we were hitting this as a resistance and we finally did decide to break through it, it skyrocketed. It absolutely skyrocketed. That was in 2017 once again though, but back in 2018 we skyrocketed up, and you'll notice that this does act as a very strong support as well with major price movements. You can see in previous movements we've had skyrocketing levels as high as 60%. We could easily see a 60% move in a more bull market to shoot up the price to major high levels. It is definitely a possibility, especially with all this great news coming out. Now, I'm more onto charting. I don't really pay attention that much to specific news articles that do come out because I've noticed recently they don't really affect the price as much. But, for those of you who are interested, Ripple may be entering Vietnamese market with TP Bank partnership. Basically, they are, also working on SBI on a Planck blockchain for international transactions with its flexible, transparent, and decentralized nature. So basically, this major company that wants to use Ripple technology or Ripple blockchain technology to help its faster transactions and things like that are now being supposedly put into Vietnam, which could eventually spike in the price and the use case of XRP and Ripple. Now you have to consider, or at least, people to understand what XRP and Ripple is, you got to understand that some of these, third world countries don't actually have, and they may not even be third world countries, but they may not have the economy that we do, and they may, resort to using other means of technology. Now they are still a bank, so Vietnam, I guess, is flourishing quite well, but they may be using some of these alternative routes because their economy is not 100%. So consider that this may be breaking bullish due to good news. Swell event coming up in literally, I think, 1 to 2 days, very soon. We can type that in real quick. XRP swell, I think it's tomorrow or in the next day or two. But I believe it is November 6th and 7th. So in 2 days from now, we will see some pretty great news coming out of Swell. Obviously, everybody's going to be talking about it. So we'll be checking that out as well. Ethereum looks okay. Finally, wow. I think this is literally in the past couple of days. I mean, in the past couple of hours, or while I've been up, we've been seeing now a pretty nice rally up to resistance right here. Very interesting. This is what I'm anticipating to happen potentially with an XRP. You can see XRP's resistance is right here. There's a good chance we break bearish short term before rallying back up. Similar to Ethereum hitting this ascending triangle, breaking through it, and then eventually retesting it once again. And then we are eventually going to pop through this because it just is constantly being retested. XLM is also seeing sideways consolidation, no movement in volume, sideways movement, price is flatlined. That seems to be the case for practically all the cryptos. So the ones that aren't ready popping, like Litecoin's already popping, something like Bitcoin and the other cryptos will show a big sign in a couple of hours, if not in a day or two, mainly because of how reluctant these coins are to be trading sideways and flatlined out. It's a major indicator that resistance is around the corner and volume is coming in. So we will see whether or not these coins tend to break bullish to extremely high levels or retracement is due, because we're at some very critical points. So we may be seeing a major rally or a major downfall in the next couple of days. Obviously, I wouldn't gamble right now. There's a 50-50 chance. I would wait it out. You can see it's a very hit or miss, and they're only very, very, very tiny movements on the 4 hour, mainly 5% from 181 to 186 is not that much money compared to the capital you'd have to invest. Even this is a very small move. We're looking at Bitcoin and XRP. These are the two cryptos that may see a very big move in the near future. But if Bitcoin does decide to continue on with where its pattern is going and we continue to follow this descending fractal, there is a chance this is a resistance and we're going to fall down, and that will immediately pull back on XRP because there's a lot of resistance right here. Not only are we in a bearish signaling MACD, but the high-low MMA's resistance here, it's a lot showing this coin is most likely going to retrace lower. But we'll have to mainly wait because in the next, I think, couple of days, if not sooner, we literally have till like the 10th, the latest, we will see a pretty significant move. Otherwise, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember, we're doing a giveaway at we're doing a $25 Bitcoin giveaway every Friday. All you have to do to enter is make sure you are subscribed, turn on post notifications, leave a comment down below so I know you want to get involved in the giveaway, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.